Il est fan de James Cameron et il ne l'a jamais caché. Il s'appelle Neville Page, il a travaillé sur Avatar avec James Cameron, mais surtout, il a fait ceci. Voici un des casques du film Tron qui sort sur vos écrans. Neville Page est en grande star. Bonjour, bonsoir, bienvenue dans Hollywood Live. Tron, l'héritage, ce sera bien sûr le gros morceau de notre spécial sur tous les supports. En coulisses avec Neville Page, sur le tapis rouge avec les stars du film et même au salon du jeu vidéo pour la déclinaison ludique qui, vous verrez, est elle-même originale.
Follow me. You know what a mechanic is?
Il sera le flingueur, ce sera en avril prochain sur vos écrans, mais il sort cette semaine aux US sous le titre The Mechanic. Nous vous offrirons un premier regard sur ce film d'action avec Jason Statham, toujours dans les sorties US, le rite avec Anthony Hopkins en prêtre. Avatar, Cloverfield, Watchmen, Star Trek et prochainement The Green Lantern. Mais qui est donc ce Neville Page qui figure au générique de tous ces films dans la catégorie concept et design? Si nous devions résumer la carrière de Neville Page, eh bien, it would start with this, Neville, and we would end up with this.
Yep.
But then you know what we're going to do is like try to understand exactly, you know, what is this actually?
It was a creature design that was done years ago as a spec piece to try and get work for this project that was happening with Industrial Light and Magic. Sculpted this, and by the time I finished, the job had already come and gone.
So this has never been used?
Never.
Many years after, and of course there's a lot of things in between, and these are?
These are from Tron. These are two of the helmets that were developed for the Blackguard, the bad guys, and Sam Flynn in the disc game. And yeah, it's a rather long journey to get from that creature to these guys. The technologies have changed. That's old school clay. This is all computer sculpted and printed and grown. And then of course, hours and hours of labor of making it look shiny. But that is the end result.
On Tron, on the screen credit, it says lead
concept designer.
Yeah, which for me doesn't mean anything. What does that mean exactly?
I was lead concept designer within the costume department. I conceived the look of Sam Flynn and Cora. Of course, it's again a huge team, but I art directed a lot of the aesthetic from sketching it in the computer all the way to the point of sanding the final piece and painting the final costume and then fitting it on the actor.
I don't know if they have like small heads, but this for me is like really tight.
It's tight, for sure, and the reason why it probably looks small is you're used to seeing hockey helmets, football helmets, motorcycle helmets, and they have a thickness of padding that allows them to be safe. This is not safe.
I see.
This is made to look cool. If you look inside, there's a lot of electronics in here. They did an incredible job at making these safe for the performers. These little things here are fans that cool the actors inside. So they developed all the electronics for these as well as being able to take them on and off. So everything is magnetic. This piece here, I could go like that and it snaps on the side. They did such an incredible job. So you can kind of pop this off.
Okay, got it.
The original Tron film used an actual hockey helmet off the shelf. So my thought was, as it evolved, let's take and design the understructure as if it was a super high-end contemporary hockey helmet. Both my business partner, Scott Robertson, and I, we designed the Nike helmet for hockey. Designing this underhelmet was fairly easy from that standpoint because I knew the form language. And bicycle helmets, both Scott and I had been designing sporting goods for years as industrial designers, and we did a lot of helmets for cycling. Did Greg LeMond's time trial helmet back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're familiar with
helmets. Yeah. We're gonna talk about the suit now. Pop quiz: have you seen Hollywood Boulevard Tronified?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think Hollywood Boulevard needs to reconsider what it is going to go back to, and just light lines should be everywhere.
That's where we're going actually. On va retrouver Neville Page dans un instant. Nous allons sur Hollywood Boulevard, comme il vient de le dire, tronifié. C'est bien sûr la première de Tron, l'héritage. À tout de suite.
This is a huge moment for us. Hollywood Boulevard has been Tronified. There's blue everywhere. It's just, I can't believe it's finally happening. It's amazing.
Jeff, one more time right there, guys. Baby, on the air, let me say it.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
It's Tron world
Huh?
here.
It's Tron world, all these programs flying around, it's pretty wild.
Incroyable. Avatar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it just amazes me. Nous sommes dans le studio de Neville Page. On va retrouver Neville Page dans un instant, vous le voyez. C'est la créature d'Avatar et on va justement parler d'Avatar dans un instant. Mais avant, tout ce qui sort en salle cette semaine aux États-Unis. À tout de suite.
Dans la catégorie remake, voici Le Flingueur, un film qui fera hurler tous les fans de Charles Bronson. Oui, il s'agit d'une nouvelle version du classique de 72, avec Charles Bronson remplacé dans ce nouveau film par Jason Statham. Jason Statham qui tient quand même à préciser que l'approche est la même pour tous ses films, même lorsqu'il s'agit d'un remake.
You want to do a good movie and you don't want to screw it up and you want to make sure that everything goes right. That's what you're expecting. And I feel that that's the pressure is is everybody going to work well together?
Statham, c'est le flingueur, le tueur à gages solitaire, qui accepte pour la première fois de prendre un disciple et le former. Bien évidemment, il ne s'agit pas de n'importe quel disciple, le petit jeune est en fait le fils de son boss, mort, assassiné. Ils sont donc désormais deux, et ils vont se venger. Bien sûr, il y a moins de psychologie dans cette nouvelle version que dans celle avec Bronson, mais ça, c'est parce qu'on profite des talents de cascadeur de Jason Statham. Statham, on le sait, ne se double presque jamais, mais reconnaît quand même avoir des limites.
Usually for me it's an explosion or running through a burning building. I'm not interested in doing. If there's some kind of a pyrotechnic thing that has to blow up, I'm not so confident with that because it doesn't rely on my physical ability or my own commitment to the stunt. That's just one of those.
Buongiorno.
On retrouve le même thème dans l'autre sortie US de la semaine, le maître et son disciple. Mais cette fois, ce sont les forces démoniaques qu'il faut combattre. Ça s'appelle le rite et c'est avec Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, maître exorciste, va apprendre à son élève les secrets du rite. L'histoire, nous dit l'auteur, est vraie, mais adaptée à l'écran, on retombe vite dans le réchauffé. Anthony Hopkins nous refait Hannibal Lecter, mais en plus vieux. Et le réalisateur, lui, essaye de nous faire sursauter avec des montages rapides, des flashs et le volume de la musique qui augmente dès que la tension monte. Peut-être que le film aurait mieux marché s'il n'y avait pas eu, en septembre dernier, un excellent film d'épouvante appelé Le Dernier Exorcisme.
Michael, what's happening to me? It's real.
Avatar, le plus grand succès de tous les temps. Avatar et sa technologie, Avatar et ses créatures, imaginé par James Cameron et conçu par Neville Page.
Are you as amazed as I am when you see this still today?
I am, actually. Yeah, and it's without arrogance. I'm amazed that birth was given to these creatures and in such a realistic way. It's a real treat and honor to be able to have your designs realized in almost perfection, really. He had every single detail figured out in his mind, but there are details that we're hired to bring to the table, like how the mouth works. He had this idea that he wants the teeth to come out like a snake, and you have to figure that out mechanically, so it's kind of like you're a bioengineer. In addition to making something look cool, you have to be able to figure it out mechanically so that when you give it to the animators, it actually does work.
What was the inspiration to this creature?
We talked a lot about the wings and the mechanical aerodynamic need for flight, where you would position the Na'vi to be able to ride. So there's a narrative thing driving certain choices, where their feet would go. How do you hold on to bird wings. Wow. There's all these things. It was a huge engineering feat more than aesthetic. And then once you get all those hard points figured out, it somewhat designs itself.
Now we met James Cameron, okay, and he talked about you, and here's what he's saying. On écoute James Cameron, il nous parle de Neville Page.
What Neville Page brought to the picture?
Well, Neville was the head of the creature design team, our in-house creature design team, and so he basically had the job of herding cats. You've got a bunch of artists working for you, and you have to direct and focus their energies all kind of in one direction. And Neville, of course, is a very strong artist himself, both as a sculptor and in drawing and designing creature anatomy and so on.
Après Avatar, Star Trek et Watchmen, Neville s'attaque à Tron, l'héritage. C'est à lui que revient la lourde tâche de créer les combinaisons des héros.
The goal was to make the suits practical, and all that means is they really do work. But you don't want to reinvent it. It's got to pay homage to the feel and the vibe, aesthetically as well, because it's a sequel, and what we're trying to do is show the timeline that has evolved these designs within the computer over these years and years and years. So that the challenge was to take designs and not just redesign them to freshen up the franchise, but rather take the designs and evolve them within the storyline.
Bien pensé, me direz-vous? Attendez de voir la synergie entre le cinéma et le jeu vidéo. Regardez ce que les développeurs vidéoludiques ont fait de leur côté pour compléter la promotion de Tron.
We actually sat down together and brainstormed the future of Tron out. It was at that point that we then built, from a macro point of view, the story out going forward. And our game is obviously bridges the original film and the new film, telling a story that passes from the original and ends with a movie, if you know what I mean.
The designs that I did ended up being used in the game, of course, because they're
Did you see
here.
the game?
I did.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is really beautiful. And it takes you in deeper to the world, which is nice, because you get to spend some time there.
Voilà, c'était donc Hollywood Live consacré à Neville Page, qu'on retrouvera très certainement au moment de la sortie de Green Lantern. Pour l'instant, c'est Tron qui est sur vos écrans. On se retrouve la semaine prochaine pour d'autres news depuis Hollywood. D'ici là, bon cinéma. Ciao.